Once upon a time, in a faraway village, there lived an old man named Tar. Tar was not rich, but he had a beautiful and happy family. He was a hard-working farmer, but he did not own a farm of his own. Instead, he worked on other people's farms. Tar always made sure that his wife and children were satisfied, even though they did not have much. Tar's wife was beautiful and worked as a trader in the market, selling vegetables and fruits. Every morning she prepared her goods with a smile and went to the market to support the family. Tar and his wife had 3 children, 2 sons and a pretty daughter. They were all happy and loved each other deeply. Even though they did not have much money, their home was filled with love and joy. In the evenings, after a long day's work, Tar would come home tired but content. His wife welcomed him with a warm meal, and the children ran to hug him. They would sit together, laugh, and share stories. Tar's life was simple, but it was full of love and happiness. To him, true wealth was measured by the joy shared with those he cared about. Tar had many friends in the village, but they were all wealthier than him. As time went on, these friends began to drift away because Tar was not as rich as they were. They did not want to be seen with someone so poor. Tar felt sad, but he always told himself, "My family is what matters most." One day, there was a big gathering in the village. Tar decided to go, hoping to enjoy some time with his old friends. When he arrived, he saw his friends laughing, eating, and drinking together. At first, they seemed happy to see him and invited him to join them. Tar sat down and shared a meal with his friends, but after they finished eating, something happened that made Tar feel very sad. One of his friends stood up and said, "Tar, since you are not as rich as us, you should pack the plates." Tar was shocked. He said, "We are all friends and I am older than you all. Just because I don't have as much money as you doesn't mean you can treat me this way. Everyone should pack their own plate." But his friends laughed and said, "If you don't pack the plates, we'll tell the seller that you haven't paid. That will be even more embarrassing for you." Tar had no choice. He packed the plates and left the gathering, feeling very sad and humiliated. He walked home slowly, thinking about how unfairly he had been treated. When he got home, his wife noticed that he was unhappy and asked him what had happened. Tar sighed and replied, "My friends treated me badly today because I am not as rich as they are. But it doesn't matter. I will always do my best for you and our children." Tar continued to work hard every day despite the way his friends treated him. He knew that his family needed him, and he was determined to make sure they were always happy and taken care of. Even though he was sad, his love for his family kept him strong. Tar was known in the village for his hard work. He worked on many different farms, but he never had a farm of his own. He would spend long hours in the hot sun, planting and harvesting crops. Sometimes the people he worked for would not pay him right away. They would say, "Come back tomorrow, Tar." But when he returned, they still would not pay him. T's friends, who were wealthier, often took advantage of him. They would ask him to do menial and degrading tasks like washing their clothes or cleaning their houses. One day, T asked a friend for some money to buy food for his family. His friend laughed and said, "If you want money, you must clean my house and wash my clothes." Tar felt humiliated, but agreed because he needed the money to feed his family. He spent the whole day cleaning and washing, and by the time he was done, he was exhausted. His friend gave him a small amount of money, much less than what he had earned, but Tar took it without complaining. Another time, T worked on a friend's farm from sunrise to sunset. He worked tirelessly, but when it was time to get paid, his friend said, "I don't have the money right now. Come back next week." Tar felt frustrated, but he had no choice. He needed the work to support his family. Despite all the unfair treatment and hard work, T never gave up. He would wake up early every day and go to work no matter how tired he was. He knew his family depended on him, and he wanted to make sure they had enough to eat and a roof over their heads. The time for harvest arrived, and T knew it was a chance to earn some money. He decided to approach Chief Azuka, the richest man in the village, who had the biggest farm. T hoped that working for Chief Azuka would help him provide better for his family. Early one morning, Tar went to Chief Azuka's house and greeted him respectfully. "Good morning, Chief Azuka. I would like to help with the harvest on your farm. I have my 2 sons who can help too," Tar said. Chief Azuka looked at Tar and said, "Very well, Tar. My farm is large and I need all the help I can get. You can start tomorrow." The next day, T and his 2 sons woke up before the sun rose. They made their way to Chief Azuka's farm and began working tirelessly. They worked under the hot sun, picking crops and placing them in large sacks. They worked through heavy rain, determined to finish the harvest on time. Tar's sons were strong and hard-working, just like their father. Together they made a great team. Day after day, they labored on Chief Azuka's farm, their hands rough and their backs aching, but they never complained. They knew their hard work would bring food and happiness to their family. Finally, after many days of hard work, the harvest was complete. The crops were neatly packed in sacks and stored in the barn. Tar felt a sense of accomplishment and relief. He wiped the sweat from his brow and said to his sons, "We did it. Now let's go and get our payment from Chief Azuka." T went to Chief Azuka and said, "Chief, we have finished the harvest. Can we please have our payment?" Chief Azuka nodded and handed Tar some money. "Here is 1/3 of what I owe you. Come back tomorrow for the rest," Chief Azuka said. T was surprised. Chief Azuka had never asked him to return for the rest of the payment before, but he took the money and thanked the chief. When T returned home, he gave some money to his wife and said, "Cook a delicious meal for the children tonight. They deserve it." That night, T's wife noticed he was not sleeping. She turned to him and asked, "Tar, why are you so moody? Did something—" Tar's wife noticed his worry and asked, "Did something happen at Chief Azuka's farm?" Tar sighed and replied, "Chief Azuka did not pay me fully. He told me to come back tomorrow for the rest. I am worried because he has never done this before." His wife hugged him and said, "Don't worry, T. You have worked hard and everything will be fine. Let's enjoy our meal with the children tonight." T nodded and tried to put his worries aside. He knew he had to go back to Chief Azuka the next day to get the rest of his payment. Despite his concerns, he remained hopeful and continued to focus on his family, who were his greatest source of strength and happiness. The following day, Tar returned to Chief Azuka's house to collect the remaining payment for his hard work. As he approached the chief's grand house, Tar felt a mix of hope and worry. He needed the money but was wary of the chief's unexpected generosity from the previous day. Chief Azuka greeted Tar with a warm smile. "Ah, Tar, welcome back. Come sit with me. Let us share some food and drink," he said, gesturing toward a table laden with delicious food. Tar hesitated but sat down as the chief's maid served him. The hospitality felt unusual, and Tar couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. However, he decided to listen and see what Chief Azuka had to say. After they had eaten, Chief Azuka leaned back in his chair and said, "T, you have worked hard all your life. You deserve more than just a few coins for your labor. I have an opportunity for you to become rich without all this hard work. You just have to see my old friend at the edge of the forest." Tar was taken aback. "Chief Azuka, what do you mean? How can I become rich without working hard?" The chief smiled and replied, "There is a way, Tar. A way that requires a small ritual but no bloodshed. You are getting older, and soon you won't be able to provide for your family through physical labor. Think about it." His heart raced. The idea of becoming rich without hard work was tempting, but he was also cautious. "I don't know, Chief Azuka. This sounds risky. What kind of ritual is this?" Chief Azuka reached into his robe and pulled out a large bundle of money. He handed it to Tar and said, "Here, take this. It is 10 times the amount I owe you. Think of it as a gift, a small taste of what you could have. Take your time to decide. There is no rush." His eyes widened at the sight of so much money. He had never seen such a large sum in his life. He took the bundle with trembling hands and thanked the chief. "Thank you, Chief Azuka. I will think about your offer and let you know." If you liked my video, please like and subscribe to the channel.